Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to thedailyblue.com. Coming up right now in A Ship Called Relation, we are talking about the top 5 things all couples must talk about before it's too late. And then later in the show, our favorite game is back, Sink or Swim. This story is from a woman who says that her husband is just now getting suspicious of her late nights. And on top of it, her boyfriend wants to go home with her, but how is that going to happen? We'll discuss all of that plus much more right now on A Ship Called Relation. There, I'm Jason Galka, and welcome back to A Ship Called Relation. Today's show, we are talking about the top 5 things that all couples must talk about before it's too late and before tying the knot. And then later on, we're going to get into our Sink or Swim. We have another great story. I'm very excited about that. So good morning, ladies. How are we?
Good morning.
Yay. It's Wednesday. It's hump day, so energy levels are up. Brittany, I have to start with you because, as you know, 2 weeks ago, we talked about you moving in with your hottie with a body boyfriend, Evan. How is that going?
It's going good. I was just telling you for the show, I swear you're living next door to me because my neighbor keeps me up till like 1 in the morning on the phone, but he has the same voice as you. And
Okay, I keep our neighbors up for other reasons.
And I almost walked over to see if it was you, but it's not, I guess.
But we do live pretty close, though. We're only like 2 towns away, so you never know where it might turn up.
But it's been good. He's been, hanging stuff on the walls.
Watching him
manly
work.
Things.
Oh my God, I love it. Are you recording it so you can show me?
I forgot, but I have more curtain rods to be hung. So.
Excellent, yes.
Finding things to do.
Yeah.
So now, when we talked about pet peeves last week, I mean, are you developing more with him now that you're actually living with him?
Not yet.
Not yet. Give it time.
Well, he didn't make me lunch the other day, so that bothered me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh.
No lunch.
I asked for it.
It's over. And what are you doing?
Deal breaker.
Done. But no, nothing yet. It's been good. I mean, it's only been, 4 or 5 days?
Yeah.
It's very new.
It's still the honeymoon phase.
Talk to me in like 3 weeks.
So that actually leads into what we're going to talk about. We're talking about the 5 top things that all couples should talk about, as I said. So what was the first thing the two of you had to talk about prior to making this commitment together?
To moving in?
Yeah.
Well, we had to talk about if there was going to be like a future, like where we saw each other in like 5 years or less, because I don't want to wait till I'm 30-something to get married, and I wanted to make sure he was on the same page as me, so that way we wouldn't move in together and then be living together for like 6 years without any kind of, plans for the future.
Right.
So that was a big thing.
Important one, too.
Yeah, I think that's really the only thing that was really important to me. And, knowing that he was going to be motivated and work and make me lunch.
Didn't make you lunch.
Fail so far.
That's okay. You're still hot. I've met him. Trust me. Take my word for it.
He is hot.
So, Kelly, prior to moving in with Rob, what was the number one thing that you guys had to discuss first?
We never we never really had like a talk. It just we were one of those couples that from like our second date we pretty much hung out 24/7, and
yeah. See, I always did that too.
It never really was like a do you want to move in? It was just like it just happened.
Yeah, I mean, I always say that my story with John.
It's eventually like, okay, yeah, you're living here, and it's like, okay, so now I can say that. And
John and I are like a true Hollywood story because we moved in together like 2 weeks after knowing each other. Like we moved fast, and then 2 months later we got engaged, and 2 years later here we are. Everything happens in twos, I guess. But it's like it's crazy how like half of the stuff that we're going to talk about, the top 5 things, I didn't even do any of them. So it's so bizarre. But Desiree, what's one thing that you always have to make sure you discuss with a boyfriend prior to moving to the next step?
If I like them more than a week or not. No, I mean, I've never lived with my boyfriend, so I don't know. But I know, like, for me, I would just need to know where it's going, if we're on the same page, and if we are going to live together, I need to know that you know, you can take care of the house if, you know, things like that.
Yeah, I need to know if they're neat too.
Yeah,
I don't like a messy person. I laid that law down right away before we moved in. I was like, your room might be messy now, but you have a walk-in closet now.
Oh,
so
he's going to be on
your mess-
probation plenty of times.
Even if you just throw it all in the closet,
Yeah,
as long as I don't see it, like.
Yeah, I don't care. If I don't see it, I don't care. But
Cool. Well,
Minus.
now the actual top 5 answers that what every couple really needs to talk about before it's too late, in time than not. The first one, shockingly, is actually credit and outstanding debt, which kind of sort of makes sense because if you're going to go sign that lease, you kind of need to know
right.
if you're going to be able to get that lease or not. You know, because they do
That's
major credit
important.
checks. That is a big one.
I remember asking him how his credit was, and he didn't know. And I was like, what? He still doesn't know, actually.
Really? Well, you know, I don't think it's important to know the credit score exactly, but if you just know what outstanding debt you
You need
have.
to know where you
Yeah.
stand.
Yeah,
relatively.
then you can kind of figure out, like if you have too many credit card debts and a car payment, very rarely you're going to get anything else at that moment.
Yeah.
And those free credit report things, I mean, I guess they're good, but I always feel like there's a gimmick to them. So, and I feel people get scammed because you'll go on to it and then it'll be like, oh, well, you need to buy this and that, and then it's not so free anymore. So really, you just have to know where you stand with what you have out there already. Number 2 is actually children, which I was a little surprised because most of the
that's-
time people talk about having a family one day.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah, I
that's
think that's
a
important.
good thing to know.
Major.
If you're talking to someone and you're a person who sees a family in your future, there's people who don't see that, and it's definitely a deal breaker for a lot of people.
We actually had that on the show a few times. I remember over the summer, we had the woman that wrote in that she loves her boyfriend. He has 2 boys of his own. She
he
wants to
doesn't.
have a child, but he doesn't anymore. So that's kind of like a deal breaker. I mean, it might be
Definitely.
okay for now, but it's going to turn disastrous later.
Right.
It always does.
Yeah.
And even the amount of kids you want to have. Like, you can have a guy that's like, I want 1, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then the woman wants 5, you know?
Yeah. So that's
You
kind
gotta
of
be able to
important
That's
to
you
talk
will
about.
compromise,
Yeah.
and yeah.
I would think that would be actually number 1, but that actually came in on number 2. Pretty interesting. Number 3 is bank accounts and bill sharing. Are you okay with sharing a bank account with Evan now that you live together?
No.
No? Why is that? Curiosity, strictly curiosity.
I'm just not ready for that yet. I don't think it's necessary. My money's my money still, and his money's his money still.
Wait, you got that wrong. Your money's your money, and his money is your
my
money
money.
too. Okay, that's how it works here.
Yeah, I don't think when you're living together necessarily you
That's
have
more
to.
like a marriage. When you
Yeah.
become like
Yeah.
one complete unit with kids, like then it's probably
Yeah.
Yeah. I've shared a bill before with an ex-boyfriend, and I got totally thrown under the bus on that one, so
Wow.
I'm not ready to do that again.
Okay.
Not that I think Evan would ever do that to me, but I'm just not ready.
just
It's definitely more of a marriage thing, I think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I mean, I know my one friend has a joint like savings account with her boyfriend where they each transfer money into it, so then they're using it to like save for like a vacation and stuff. Like stuff like
yeah, that's
that.
a little
I don't
different.
see.
That's a little
you know, it's
different.
not like he has direct access to your like checking
Right.
account, and you're still playing it safe and both your names on the account. So
That's
Yeah.
major
Like-
trust too, because if you
That
each
is.
have a
Oh,
card to that
absolutely.
bank account, men are more impulse buyers.
Yeah.
Whereas we're more like, let's save, let's really think about.
the
Remember the $3,000 vacation
Wait,
I got
I'm
called
so
with
confused
yesterday?
by what you just said.
We're more.
Well, we tend to be more responsible unless there's a great sale going on someplace, and then we impulse. But like last week when John's like, "Oh, let's take this $3,000 vacation." Well, let's hold on a minute and see. You know, is everything else going to be
make a
paid in
chart
that
here.
time
That's
frame?
definitely
Exactly.
Pros and cons.
But of course, I went out and bought myself a new suit last week.
But the vacation can wait.
The vacation can wait. Okay, number 4 is actually intimacy. And we're not talking about the traditional type of intimacy. The question is, are you okay with spending your life with one person? Can you sleep with that person? I mean, of course, there's always cheating. We get that all the time on this show, but we don't condone that.
Of course, there's always
Yeah.
cheating.
it's not the yeah.
But the
always the
proper way to
option.
carry out a relationship is to be with that one person. And are you okay with that?
Yeah, I mean,
You should be.
there's people who can't. They don't
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
in monogamy or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's definitely important, I guess, to talk about that. I never really thought about having to talk about that,
yeah.
I feel like if you're saying I'm in a
but
relationship, it's kind of
exactly,
a given.
that's
Like,
what you're saying.
we're kind of
so-
promising that we're just going to stay
I mean,
between you and I.
if you
Yeah.
think that you or your boyfriend is going to bring home another person, you're going to walk into that, then you should probably talk about it before you make
Well,
the commitment.
absolutely. That's actually a
to
big
share a
discussion because I do know people where they added a little sugar and spice and it made everything nice. So you never know.
You
Stick
never
with
know.
the one for now that you feel like you're connected to. You can always discuss those options later.
Yeah.
And the fifth one is career. Is your significant other okay with what you do for a living?
Me? Or am I?
Well, I'm asking
okay
in
with what-
general.
In general, yeah.
That's
Like for me, the
that's
biggest thing when I met
sensitive
John
one.
was we would be out at a restaurant, and by that time my show was already on the air and everything, my Jason show, and people would, just come by and say, "Oh, I saw your show," or "I like what you did," or whatever, and it kind of annoyed him in some ways because he's like, here he's trying to get to know me. And people are
everyone's
just
around
stopping
you.
by to. I mean, I love it because I'm a big ham, but he was like, "This is kind of annoying." But then
Yeah.
I guess it grew on him, and
Yeah, you just gotta get used to it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it also ties into finances because if you're a person who's changing their career and wants to make this like startup or try to do something, and the other person has to be able to support you
Right.
in doing that. And
support's a big thing in a relationship, especially when it comes to career, because obviously, John and I have different career paths. I'm here on camera, and he, manages a hotel, so it's completely two different things.
Yeah.
And but it's interesting though, and there's actually a sixth one which I just found interesting. I want to throw it out there because I'm so on the fence about this one. It's TV in the bedroom, yay or nay?
I have quite an opinion on
Freddie,
this.
you first.
oh well, who knew?
Wait,
I had no idea you felt so serious.
I do feel serious about this. Okay, so I have a TV in my bedroom, but I don't really watch it. It's just there because I have roommates, so maybe they're watching TV downstairs. But when I was in college for my whole senior year, I didn't have a TV in my bedroom. So
Yeah,
it's
well,
awesome.
this is my thing. Like,
It's
John works a lot of overnights being in the hotel business because the scheduling is so crazy. So a lot of times I'm sleeping by myself and I'll have it on because it's just noise that I could fall asleep to. But yet when he's home and we're sleeping together, I refuse to let him put it on.
yeah.
Like it annoys me and I can't fall asleep. I don't know what it
can't fall
is. It's
asleep
weird
to
for
it.
me.
I think that you sleep better without a TV in your room. There's so much less distraction, and I think it's really important that when you have someone that you're sharing a room with, that you have that intimate time together and not be distracted by a TV. I mean, just try it for a week or two. I mean, I did it for almost a whole year, and it was great. I
Yeah.
loved it.
We actually just got one, which is funny, but I don't know. We try not to use it, but we also live with his brother, and he has his girlfriend, and sometimes they're watching a movie, or sometimes you just want to be by
I was gonna
yourself.
say,
and
it might be different if you're completely
yeah,
alone.
Yeah.
and it's nice to just have it as an option to go into another room, but we rarely use it, and it's, we don't leave it on or anything.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
the only time it goes on is if I'm home by myself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't hang out in my bedroom when I have the whole rest of the house, but
It's funny because I never really thought of it as an issue.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that
actually
would
one
be
of it's one of the top 6, really,
Yeah.
but I chose the top 5. But that one was just interesting to me
It is
because I am
interesting.
so like 50-50 on it. Like I
Yeah.
love it and then
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's weird for me.
I mean, you can, what's the word I'm looking for? I just had
Balance.
Find a balance.
Yeah,
No.
I saw you do this. I figured
Yeah,
balance.
I know.
Compromise.
Compromise. Yeah.
You could compromise and maybe just put basic cable or something in the bedroom, or just maybe a DVD player, and kind of
Yeah.
don't even put
That's a
cable
good
in the
idea. So if
bedroom.
you guys want to lay and watch a movie together, but it's
Yeah.
not like he's watching sports till 3 a.m.
Yeah.
and you're like, can we talk for 5
Well, I
minutes?
think for me, like, I'm kind of a big baby. Like, I never really slept alone in a place before. Like, when, I lived at home, my mother was in the next room. And then when I moved out on my own, I always moved in with a boyfriend. So I never really slept alone, truthfully.
Scary.
So it was
No,
scary.
it's-
So I figured if I just have a little noise, if I hear something, oh, it's the TV.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that peace of mind for me.
Yeah, I like that too.
So,
Yeah.
but that's how I feel about it. So, it's very important now to be following me on social media. We're going to move on now to my little Twitter chatter that I have going on. And every week I post a casting or an audience poll where you could sound off. So definitely follow me on Facebook and Twitter. This week's Twitter chatter is I asked men and women if their significant other is entitled to know their social media passwords. Now, this is something that came up on a relationship website that I was really interested in knowing. And shockingly, 72% of men say yes, where 28% of men say no, they are not entitled to know it. How do we feel about that?
It's
I mean,
That's a tough one.
yeah. I mean, I don't really see a reason for them to know it. It seems kind of like they're paranoid or something. But if Evan asked me what my password was because he needed to do something, then
Yeah.
I would give it to him. But
I
there's
agree.
really no reason to have it. I have nothing to hide.
So you're not
But-
demanding, oh, give me your password.
Yeah, I don't
There
think
should be no
there
reason
should
to
be
have
no
it.
reason for
Check-in.
someone to be demanding for it,
Right.
and there should be no reason for someone to not give it to someone if they need
Yeah,
it. Like,
right.
it's,
But why would you need it anyway?
yeah, if
It was
you had it for
interesting.
security purposes, whatever. But if someone asked, then
Yeah, I mean, I found it interesting because, as we know, like we talked about this in our cheating segment, that social media is like the breeding ground for cheating.
yeah.
So, but yeah, it's interesting. 72% say yes, and 28% say no. The top explanation for men that say why they would give their significant other password is written by Charles DeFranco, who says, "I think it's great to share that info. It also shows trust." Whereas Bill Hernandez commented no, and said both parties are entitled to certain privacies. Sean Spaulding of that same audience poll also voted no and said if someone is demanding private information and using that as an argument, they have control issues. I kind of
like
agree
I
with
said,
all
if you're
that. I can
demanding
see
it.
both.
Yeah.
I can
It's
see
like
both
having
sides.
a password on your phone. Like, there's no real reason for anyone to be going through your phone. But
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
oh, can I make a phone call? No, you can't know my password. Then it's like a red
Yeah,
flag.
if
Yeah.
you're like, hold on,
Yeah.
let me
Then
put it in for you, and then you give
Yeah.
it to them, and it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, that's how John and I discovered. We didn't say, give me your passwords, give me your passwords. It's like, well, my phone's not working at the moment. Let me use yours. What's
Yeah.
the passcode? Okay, here it is. And
Yeah.
then same thing with social media
And then you
sites.
trust that they're not snooping through your phone when you're not looking. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a double trust.
So I conducted the same Twitter chatter poll on my page of is your significant other entitled to your social media information? 20% of women say no, their mates are not entitled to that information, where 80% say yes, they are. So it's interesting, and the top reason for not giving out the info is written by Georgette, who says everyone deserves their space, and plus profiles are public.
Yeah.
Megan says if you can't trust him or her, social media is only part of the problem. Everyone deserves their privacy. And Rachel says, yes, if you have nothing to hide, then you have no problem giving them that info, which we said too.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think 80%
I'm
of the women that said that they should get their social media passwords are the women that have trust issues with their boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you can have mine because I
I
want
want
yours.
yours. Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I agree.
I
I
think
mean,
girls are a lot more snoopy. Guys will just be
Yeah.
like, listen, if you're cheating, you're cheating. I'll find out eventually. But
Yeah.
girls are like, I need to find out.
Yeah.
I need to get
I need
you.
to
I can
No,
relate
I'm
to
gonna-
that.
I'm gonna get you.
yeah.
Yeah, this definitely goes both ways. It's
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of circumstantial stuff. So
Absolutely, and it's like we said, a lot of times that they just needed to do whatever, oh, here you go, no problem. That's pretty much how we discovered it. So as usual, our favorite game is back. Ladies, it is time to grab those cards. It is time to play Sink or Swim. We got another juicy story this week. I love our juicy viewers. Keep them coming. And this one is written by Jessica, who says, Dear Jason, a few months ago, this guy James started at my job. And at first we started with just hi and bye, but then we started having lunch and now dinner. It's getting serious, and I'm afraid my husband is going to get even more suspicious, as if he isn't already, of my late nights. Plus, James has been asking to see my place, and I just say that I have a crazy roommate and quickly change the subject. That's going to work for a very long time.
Yeah.
The problem is I'm not happy with my husband, but don't want to get divorced and lose my home life. On the other hand, Jane makes me very happy, and we have so much in common. I'm totally stuck and can use advice. Jessica. Now, a couple of things here that stick out to me is that both men have no idea of each other. And now the husband is just starting to get suspicious because she's obviously going out to dinner with James, and it's probably getting to the point where James wants to be intimate, but why isn't he taking her back to his place? Why is he not looking to go to her place? So I think there's more to the story than meets the eye.
Too.
Yeah.
All I know is that holiday party is going to be really fun.
That's right. We're approaching Christmas time, holiday season,
Who are you
holiday
gonna bring?
parties.
Jerry. It sounds like the husband's kind of slacking in their marriage. I mean, if she's going out every night with this boyfriend, then
Yeah.
clearly the husband's probably not making much of an effort to take
that
her out
just
or
makes
anything.
me
but
so mad. How
I'm
you
not
just
saying-
automatically jump to say the husband is not doing his
Well,
job.
everyone wants to blame the wife, but
No,
I mean,
everybody
it's a two-way
wants.
street.
Yeah, it is, but
Very
you don't
true.
But
know
she
that.
shouldn't be cheating.
She's
No,
cheating.
maybe-
She's,
Right.
I mean, technically she's not really cheating yet, is she?
She could have gone back to his house.
It's kind of, it's right there on
cheating.
the fence.
We're on the fence of cheating so far.
Because there's feelings involved, though.
Yeah,
I think it's cheating because
okay.
there's feelings. So I'm going to say it
Where's
is
the
cheating.
wedding ring?
Feelings
Is she
with
not
an
wearing
intention
it?
to cheat.
Good
I
point.
guess not. Maybe the husband didn't get her a good one.
Oh, well then, honey, cheat away.
Again, the husband's fault.
No.
I love how you're the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
No
Kelly,
in
what
her
are your
office?
thoughts? Because you're feeling pretty strong about this.
No, I
done.
just feel. Go ahead, you finish then. What?
But she shouldn't be snooping around on her husband, like, either. It's clear if you're not happy in your marriage, you're being selfish just to stay in it. Like, talk to your husband, work it out. Stop saying this guy is just fun because he's doing everything your husband's not.
Right.
He's gonna fall into the same pattern as your husband probably anyway. So work it out with your husband or leave him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Figure it out. I hate
Figure it
cheating.
out.
I hate it.
Now she's
I
mad.
don't ever. I
Everyone's
never.
getting really mad in here. The story is too
It's
much
getting
for
hot, too hot for TV in this room right
I
now.
just
love
don't
it.
condone it, and I don't think it's to just jump right away to say, oh well, he's not. The husband's not doing his job. I'm always
We need to get
my
Kelly a
hands
fan.
are always sweating. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't just assume that it's his fault. It sounds like she's pursuing this. Maybe he's not interested in her because she's not showing him attention. She's staying out late nights, going out with this guy from work. Maybe she needs to get home and figure out.
Right,
what
see
her
what's,
home
what's
issues
missing
are.
out of there.
Get your butt home and figure it and work it out, or get out. And
Or get the
It's not
boot.
fair
Debs,
to
what
him.
do you think?
I mean, I'm completely agreeing with both of you guys. If it's like the husband's not doing it, then say something to him and fix it first before you branch out.
Okay,
Is
here's
it
what
wrong?
I think.
I
Is it
know.
wrong that, like, I want her to have the initial, like, intimate moment with this new guy and for it to suck and for the
And
husband
then-
to find out and leave her?
All crash and burn in her face.
Sorry.
Is that really
Sorry,
wrong?
viewer. Like,
No, we're not hostile at all here on a ship correlation. No, but you know what? I agree to disagree. Like, I can side with Brittany because I've been in situations where in the past guys weren't delivering what I wanted. But I didn't cheat, but definitely the temptation was there too. And I also agree with Kelly, like, it's not, you don't do that in a relationship. And it also depends on, like, your values.
married.
And,
especially
exactly.
if you're married. Exactly. That's what I
Yeah,
was
I mean, we don't know if there's kids involved or anything. Right now, it just sounds like it's a husband and wife deal. But certainly, I don't condone cheating, and I certainly don't have that. I mean, I got hot stuff at home. I don't have that temptation anymore. But certainly, I can understand what Brittany's saying from past relationships.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. Like, I can see both sides,
Yeah.
basically. But I don't jump right away to say the wife's bad, because everyone does that, or whoever's cheating is bad, because there's two sides of the story in every story. So
But I think if it's at that point where you feel like you have to cheat, then you shouldn't be in a relationship
probably
anymore.
not.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's vote. Let's first of all think about what we're voting on here. Are we sinking the boyfriend in her or the husband in her? I would say the boyfriend in her.
I would think the boyfriend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I'm
it's
seeing
an
the
office
boy-
romance.
she
I
needs-
mean,
Yeah.
if things turn sour, how is that going to turn out?
luck.
Gonna
Love in
lose
the
her husband
workplace.
and her job.
Yeah,
We covered this
I'm
a couple weeks
we
ago.
did.
Yeah.
Go to our archive page. Take a look.
Yeah, sink.
I'm
Just
thinking the
sink
boyfriend.
it.
I think
It's too complicated.
Not really
Yeah.
sinking the marriage yet, but she definitely
Yeah,
needs to
don't
at
sink
least
the marriage.
sink the boyfriend and go figure out things
Yeah.
out.
Marriage.
I mean,
yeah.
it's a second job carrying on another relationship.
Yes.
I can't.
I
I've
don't-
never been able to.
And then to keep up with, I mean, let's just talk about that for a second. You got to keep up with your lies. What are you telling your husband? What are you telling the boyfriend? And how long is this? I live with a crazy roommate
yeah,
and
the
change the
roommate
subject
Yeah.
of laughs.
situation,
I
and
know.
nobody in your office says anything about your
Yeah.
husband.
No.
Like, it's
I mean, they must be hiding it really
confused.
good in the office.
Apparently, I don't.
Wow.
Who knows?
either put your wedding ring back on or go pawn it or
Yeah,
something.
I mean, I think this person should
take
really
it.
come forward and be a guest on the show because I have so many questions with this.
yeah,
yeah.
right here.
Actually,
You can
sit right here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Between me and
between you and Kelly.
Yeah.
Something like the angel and devil on your
Yeah.
All right, so we are sinking that ship. So good luck to Jessica and good luck to her man because I kind of feel for him. If
I
he's
do too.
totally in the dark in this, I mean, there's, and then people find out, it's so embarrassing for that other
I feel
person.
bad for both of them.
Yeah.
And they both have feelings for her, and she's just messing with their heads.
Yeah.
Feel
Mean,
bad for
mean
the
lady.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Sink it.
Wow.
Deserve to be sunk.
Absolutely. And our famous boot.
Yeah, give the boyfriend the boot.
All right, so we are at the wrap mark. Ladies, thank you so much. It always goes by so fast, and we had
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
to talk about today. It is almost 11 right now, so log on to thedailyblue.com right now to my blog. It is live right now for more detailed information on today's show. And you definitely don't want to miss next week's show. I'm totally excited for it The flirting queen, Fran Green, is going to be here. She's also the author of the Flirting Bible. And she's going to teach us a little flirting techniques that can help us in landing the one. If you're single, I'm Jason Galka. Thank you for joining us. See you next week.